With limited resources, Vietnam attempted to solve the COVID-19 pandemic using preventive measures such as mass quarantines and comprehensive tracking of possible cases. Through early and efficient border closures, uncharacteristic official transparency and strategic COVID-19 diplomacy, communist-run Vietnam is fast emerging as a likely post-pandemic winner. So far, the country has 268 confirmed COVID-19 coronavirus cases, 201 recoveries, and no fatalities as of April 19. By focusing on measures that are within their control, the country has won praise from the international community. Vietnam has prepared for the epidemic as early as the very first case in China emerged, around mid-December 2019. Vietnam's Deputy Prime Minister Pham Binh Minh stated that the public service, military forces and Ministry of Health have worked out various plans in case there was an outbreak. The Deputy Prime Minister added that the country has won the first round in the fight against the virus with 16 confirmed cases, 16 recoveries, and 0 deaths. The Vietnamese response has been praised by several figures, comparing it to the fast response back in 2003 when Vietnam became one of the first countries to be cleared of the SARS outbreak. The United States ambassador to Vietnam, Daniel Kritenbrink, had praised Vietnam for its fast measures against the outbreak. Also, the U.S. delegation also praised Vietnam for its quarantine efforts, and have cooperated with the Vietnamese embassy in the United States. The country's response to the outbreak has received acclaim for its immediacy, effectiveness and transparency, in contrast to China, Europe and North America. Even in comparison to other commended examples like South Korea, Singapore and Taiwan, Vietnam has experienced a much lower number of cases and no deaths. However, even with low infections and 0 fatalities, Vietnam faced several impacts that tested their country. What impacts of COVID-19 does the country of Vietnam face? How did they respond to this impacts? 1. Stockpiling and food security. Stores across Vietnam quickly sold out of surgical masks and hand sanitizers after the initial cases of coronavirus were reported. This followed a similar trend in many other Asian countries. Interim Health Minister Vu Duc Dam urged the public to remain calm during the outbreak and avoid excessive emergency shopping. Vietnamese authorities also arrested people profiteering from the outbreak. Vietnam has also ordered a temporary suspension of new rice export contracts due to fear over domestic supply. 2. Economy. Before the COVID-19 outbreak, Vietnam was one of the main beneficiaries of the US-China trade war, with a growing number of Chinese companies moving their operations into the country. Like most of the world's economy, Vietnam was hit hard by the outbreak, due to the slowdown of private and national industries, the downturn of stock exchanges and the lower number of incoming tourists, although Vietnam is expected to be harmed less than China. The government has targeted the economic growth for 2020 to be 6.8% but has warned that if disruptions to supply chains continue due to the virus, then growth could slow to 5.96%. The Vietnamese government has also issued several incentives in the form of tax breaks, delayed tax payments, and land use fees for businesses impacted by the COVID-19 outbreak. Vietnam's central bank, the State Bank of Vietnam (SVB), has already cut interest rates from February 2020. Further, the SVB has asked commercial banks in the country to lower interest rates. 3. Sport. Events. The outbreak also forced the 2020 V-League One to be delayed to the 7th of March until further announcement, which affected the preparation of Vietnam national football team for the upcoming 2022 World Cup qualification. It also caused the Vietnamese Grand Prix of the 2020 Formula One World Championship to be postponed until further notice. 4. Xenophobia and non-compliance with self-isolation orders. The Asia Times reported that a number of Vietnamese hotels and guesthouses have reportedly hung signs on their doors saying that Chinese guests are not welcome, while many Vietnamese have gone online to demand the closure of all border crossings with China. Signs suggesting that Chinese customers were not welcome were seen in front of a shop in Phu Quoc and a restaurant in Da Nang. Anger was also reported due to the increasing number of the infected cases coming from the Muslim community returning from Malaysia following their attendance of the Tablighi Jamaat festival in Sri Petaling Mosque, and 2 to 3 patients did not obey the self-quarantine law in Vietnam and still attended Islamic events in Ho Chi Minh City, leading to fury and demands to imprison the Muslim population, even among Vietnamese celebrities. 5. Popular culture. Vietnam's National Institute of Occupational and Environmental Health commissioned artists to release the song, Gen COVID, Jealous Coronavirus, which recommended correct hand-washing technique and was a remake of 2017 song, Gen, Jealous. It has gone viral amidst the coronavirus outbreak, first earning praise from John Oliver in his talk show Last Week Tonight with John Oliver, and has become increasingly popular among public and frequently duplicated by netizens, with UNICEF recommending the video as a means of fighting back the fear of coronavirus. Unlike the extensive testing strategy in South Korea, Vietnam, which is less economically developed, Vietnam owes its success to a low-cost model based primarily on strict quarantine and contact tracing policies. Vietnam is one of the very few countries that has reportedly suffered no deaths due to the COVID-19 pandemic. While most countries around the world took a wait-and-see approach, Vietnam reacted quickly to the outbreak in Wuhan. According to Park Kidong, a World Health Organization official in Hanoi, in FA, investment during peacetime, early activation of a response system, and a whole-of-society approach under strong leadership can be highlighted as reasons for Vietnam's success so far. Thank you for watching. If you are new to this channel, please press the subscribe button and notification bell for more informative and entertaining videos like this. If you are already our subscriber, please comment topics for our next video and you will get a free shout out. What are the impacts of COVID-19 for the other countries? How did they respond? Here are our video suggestions for you.